Growing up Chinese American, I don't have a great connection with most of my family who live an ocean away from me. Only my mom, dad, and sister live here in the US. Over this winter break, however, my sister came over. She lived in China until she was 10, so she has a great connection with them, especially my aunt and grandma. One night, she told me they wanted to FaceTime me. With the pandemic and everything, this is something new that has been happening between them. I was nervous, of course. It was the first time I had talked to them in many, many years. But when my aunt connected to the FaceTime, it was so casual and normal. Being a pre-med student, I often don't feel good enough. But they were happy to see me. My grandpa was so excited he asked me to sing for him, like I did when I was still a child. I had lived in China as a kid for 2 to 3 years. He also played this Chinese instrument for me like he would when I was young as well. Apparently, my aunt thinks I'm the most beautiful and smart person, which is something my sister told me after. My grandma, who's old and bored, was coloring in these Chinese coloring books you can buy off the street, which was something she used to buy for me when I was a kid. It's crazy how much I had stopped remembering throughout my life that came back to me in that moment. Living on campus as an out-of-state student, I hadn't even thought about them in months, maybe a year. I cried a ton after when I was alone, and I cried while writing the story too. I forgot that I had this entire family that loved me, which is a crazy thought. How can you just forget people exist? But it had probably been more than 6 years since I last spoke to them in person. So it really made me think about where I want to take my life. And after this pandemic is over, I have made plans to see them as soon as possible. It's funny that the pandemic is what sort of ended up bringing this about, but I'm glad it did.